Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another City Skyline experimental video where today I find out if you can build a pedestrian only city. Now the DLCs for plazas and promenades has been out for quite some time right now, and while I have experimented with a little bit with the DLC, I've never really actually put it to the test to see if you can build a fully functional city via pedestrians only. Now I don't see why this wouldn't work, but I have a few questions along the way that we're going to try and find out, and that is to do with the cargo situation. Will they be happy living there? Will the city slowly die off because people can't get to where they want? It's all walking. Will the city grow with the fact that it doesn't have the connections that a normal city would have via vehicles? And that's what we're going to find out. So if you do enjoy this experimental video, what to see more, smash a like button down below. If you're right here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified so to come out and breathe. So first things first, and we're going to create a little kind of area that's going to be for pedestrians only. So we're going to bring up this roads, pedestrians, and we'll select the one with trees. Why not? Why freaking not? So if I go up by a little bit then, let's go up by 80. That sounds good enough to me. Come down. I think we'll go by every 20. We'll kind of kick it back in. 20 again, back in. 20 again, back in. 20 again, back in. And then do the same again. So I'll go up by another set there. Straight down the middle. Now this couldn't be any more walkable if I tried. Like if you want to go from point A to point B, it's going to be so freaking easy for you right now. So freaking easy. So we also need to make sure that it is a pedestrian zone. So paint the pedestrian area. La-di-da-di-da. There we go. Beautiful. So what I need to do is add some residential into the mix. So if I go like this, drop some residential about to there, which I'll be happy with. Throw a little bit of commercial in the middle. We'll do some offices, and then we'll do some industry. Now that there, I feel like is the perfect balance when it comes to zoning. No more, no less is needed. And then what we'll do, we're gonna add all the other services in. Now this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting because some of these services are gonna require vehicles. Now I completely understand that vehicles can drive through this area, but it's trying to link everything together, so you know they can pretty much borderline live. Now the city is growing. I mean they can't move in yet. I haven't even set up a system yet for them to move in, so maybe I should. So what should be the mode of public transport to get here? Now can't use vehicles. It's a pedestrianised city. I could use planes. Does that kind of bypass the whole system maybe? Maybe. So apparently you can place down an airport on a pedestrian road. That already sounds freaking amazing right now. Now the airport does not like it. Let's just throw that out there. Oh no, wait, no. It's because there's no garbage service points. Yes, I gotta add all the additional stuff in. So while the game is going, or the city is now running like crazy, and I can't kind of keep up with it right now because there's still a lot of stuff that I need to kind of do. I need to add in all the additional stuff to allow us to build up the city. So first things first then, let me just get some power in. That's probably going to be more important than anything else at the moment. Now we can't place this in because it needs to be on the roadside. So do I have to then maybe, you know, use the power of wind so I could have it functional maybe? I don't know. For water, now we're gonna have some problems with, you know, the pollution, but if I set the water up just there, I need sewage to be taken care of, and again that needs to be placed on a road as well, the little basin, unless I use something else. What we got over here right now? We got a tank reservoir for water. This, oh, that's for all disaster stuff right now. So to a certain extent, we're going to need some type of road at some point. But I reckon we can kind of then just utilize this. I could have also brought the water from over here as well. Yeah, didn't quite think of that, did you, Sonia? Didn't quite think of that. So everything so far, we're able to handle it. We got the garbage, no, we got the water, the power, and the sewage all in the mix. Right, is that all connected, by the way? Why is that not up and running? Excuse me. Why are you not up and running? Am I missing something right now? It's got power. Oh, okay, I don't think there's any garbage being produced. Okay, panic over, guys, panic over. So right now we need to get all the kind of the service points all set up for this area. Now I've forgotten literally where we get the service points for this pedestrianised stuff. Excuse me, sir. Where is all of your service points, please? Could you point me in the right direction? Oh my goodness me. Am I blind? Have I literally forgotten where you get all the service point stuff? Guys, someone help me out right now. My mind might be slightly broken. Okay, we think we found it. Oh, putting garbage in the parks. What's going on here, guys? So this is interesting because some of this stuff needs to be placed on the roadside, so cannot be placed on this road. So we're going to have issues to a certain degree for some of the buildings not being able to work. So how are we going to solve that? Well, we're going to have to, unfortunately, build a little bit of road here and there. But the problem is, right, some of these places that need the road, and this is the big issue right now, also need additional kind of stuff to kind of connect to it. So I could build this here, right, which is perfectly fine. This is the large pedestrian service point, which does both garbage and cargo. Now I can place that down. That's perfectly fine, and these guys love it, and the city is now functional. But the problem is, right, how do I get cargo here to distribute to the places? Now we have to heavily rely on our industries producing the cargo at this point. That's pretty much what we're going to have to do. So it's going to be pretty interesting. It is going to be pretty interesting right now, to say the least. To say the least, boys. To say the least. So let's just kind of then add all the additional stuff in that makes this city functional. So, for example, healthcare. We'll go for the big boys. Squeeze all the big boys in. The fire department will squeeze you in. The police department will squeeze you in. And obviously we're going to need to take care of some education. So high school, elementary school, high school, and then eventually a beautiful university. Everything's all thrown in. They couldn't want more if they tried. But they do want more. And that more is power. So we are going to set up a couple of these down here right now. That would be a good way to bring the power in. I can maybe get rid of the wind turbines that are ever so annoying over here. But we'll hold out for just a moment. Now, we do need more garbage. Problem is that these guys take care of cargo and garbage for buildings, pedestrian street. Now, I don't know, right, if that then takes the garbage to a processing plant. You know what I mean? That's the thing I don't understand with this. So let me read upon these again. So even if I use one of these, capacity collects garbage. So I think it just collects garbage. That's pretty much all it does, doesn't it? It just collects the garbage. So I'm gonna have to kind of come out by a little bit more just here to place down a garbage point just like that, which the garbage vehicles now go in to here to collect the garbage. So that will make the city functional. So are we missing anything now? Death care. That is what we're now missing. So we'll handle some death care real quick. Now again, death care vehicles can drive around. So you're going to get some vehicles that do drive around. You have to. That is part of the services, unfortunately. That is part of the services. But other than that, right, is there anything additional needed to living in this city? I don't think there is. We have an airport that brings them in. We have the garbage that can handle and take care of the city and the surrounding area. We have the water, we have the power, we have the sewage. We have the industry area here, creating the products. Which, that's another interesting question as well, is how do they get the product? I know we got the service point, like I said, I know we got that. We got 6 cargo vehicles being used right now. But has anybody ever seen a cargo vehicle in this? Because I haven't. I don't know what one looks like. I honestly don't know what one looks like. But these guys complain about there's not enough educated workers. People will get educated as time goes on. And then the offices should then start to grow. So, now we've got 1,300 residents. We're going to try and cause a little bit of growth again with what we currently got. So that means placing down the odd carousel here and there. So one there, one there, one there. It should add some leisure facilities, and that should then cause a couple of sweet upgrades. And yeah, we'll check back in about 10 minutes and see if the city is still live. It's slightly expanded a little bit, give it a little bit of a ring road, plant some trees down. It actually looks pretty beautiful. I'm actually quite impressed considering that this is a pedestrian-only city. But the big issue now is the cargo area is now starting to die off because there's not enough raw materials. And that is because these guys need to be able to import and export to keep themselves alive. Now, technically, because the buildings, they will eventually die off and then regenerate, and that will produce some goods, there's not really any issues in terms of me placing it down. But that's not how a city works, guys. That's not how a city works. We got to try and replenish some of this. Now, the offices will be built, and I'm not 100% sure if the offices also need imports and exports. Again, I'm not 100% sure. So, only time will tell with this. We've got 2,000 residents now living in here. And I'll tell you what, guys, it actually looks pretty beautiful, doesn't it? It looks like a little bit of a mini utopia, to say the least. Now, cargo. That is the big issue that we're pretty much going to struggle with. So, what is the option or the outcome of the cargo side of things? So, I could build a cargo airport. That's not a problem. I have the ability to bring some trains over as well to import and export some goods. Again, not a problem. But that's the downside. I just realized these are all keyed in, aren't they? Let me kind of get these in. The downside is, you know, it's going to produce vehicles. Now, I'm trying to do as minimal vehicles as possible. Obviously, it's not always going to 100% work out. Alright, get my trees just there. The OCD's kicking in. But the offices are now being built. Could these potentially take over as producing the goods without needing exports? Again, I don't know. We don't know because we haven't seen this survive and die off or thrive just yet. So I reckon we need to see what the industrial sector. The issues have disappeared. Obviously, granted that the industry down here does eventually, you know, collapse and then call for more resources, but the offices haven't. So by that logic, if I get rid of all dirty industry and I replace it with offices, could that supplement the commercial? I don't know. Big issues. But if that is my only issue with this pedestrianised city, it works. Now, shock horror, OMG, Seniac, it's almost like the developers released this DLC wanting it to work. But it's quite scary how I don't have to rely on this. And I could build a functional city like this. So what's the point of this when I can build this? And they're thriving. Look at this tall residential buildings we've got coming in hot and heavy right now. Okay, interesting. So can a standalone pedestrianised city survive in City Skylines? The answer is yes, it can. A little bit too well. Now, the only thing you're going to struggle for, and you can now start to see it, now there's not enough goods to sell for the commercial, you are going to need imports and exports. So just like how I add an outside connection for or people to get into the city, you're going to need the same for commercial and industry for the goods. Other than that, it is completely standalone, isolated. No one can touch it right now, not even the roads. And which boggles my mind because now traffic flow is... How is traffic at 80% considering that, like, I don't even have roads? I mean, I could delete these roads right now and get like 100%. You don't need roads. Well, what we are building, boys, we don't need roads. But yes, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, smash the like button down below. Until next time, see you soon.